Do it real quickly. Hey you, come on, sit down. You're sitting at the grown-up table. I'm your host, Jesse Pimpinella, and as always, my partner in crime,
John Jacobs.
Thank you so much, and a happy Wednesday to you. And it is spooky season, all right? It begins September 1st, all right? Because if Christmas could start now, because trust me, I've seen that shit up in Kmart and Walmart and all the places. We're starting Halloween early. And what better way to start a nice spooky Halloween show than talking about one of our favorite things? Famous mad scientists in horror movies. Yes, Dr. Frankenstein, Frankenstein, Herbert.
Oh, yeah, because Darth.
Yes. So many people that we could discuss. But before we start, I need you all to do me a favor. Like and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching it live right now, like and share this link to everybody else. I know you got somebody who likes spookies, all right? Everybody loves spookies. Halloween is the best season ever. There's no seasonal obligations. It's just a good time for everybody. So share it up with them and make sure you comment. Let us know what mad scientist you are most interested in. Maybe we want to talk about it as well. So without further ado, let me bring in two guests that I am very excited about.
Not just one, but two?
Two, yes. If
Whoa.
one would say we're quite mad right now, all right?
Yeah.
Please give it up for Darth and Big Al. Big Al, thank you guys. Thank you guys.
What's up, guys?
Hey, not much.
Darth, what's going on with the low lighting, man?
It's spooky.
Oh, okay. I see what you did there. Nice.
Come on now.
There you go. All right. So let's talk. So we're going to talk about mad scientists and horror. And it's not just a character trope, but one would argue that it's become kind of a genre in itself. You know what I mean? Like, so what?
Also, Jesse, you also got to remember, the mad scientist has expanded from just horror movies.
Oh,
there's comedies, there's sci-fi, there's all kinds of stuff. So not just horror.
Real quick, this is gross. It's been in my refrigerator for a really long time. I don't even know where it came from.
It's
a hard tea. So get this. It's a hard tea, but it's also a half and half hard tea that is also aged in bourbon barrels, and it does not taste good. It sounds like it would taste good, but it does not taste good. Like I said, I don't know where this came from. It's been in my fridge for a really long time.
Today's sponsor is not hard.
Hey, John, I'm drinking a pumpkin pie cider beer that I got from Aldi, and it tastes nothing like pumpkin pie.
Yeah, I don't. So, I like shandies. I got the Leinenkugel pumpkin shandy, and man, that shit was gross. So I can't really drink pumpkin liqueur stuff because it just reminds me of that. And I love Leinenkugel. I love the whole line minus the pumpkin shandy.
I already got my pumpkin spice latte, Shep. Thank you so much for joining in with us. All right, so
this is really bad. Oh God,
I'll get into it. So I think the significance of the mad scientist, I mean, it has transcended past the horror genre.
It has.
But it answers to man's ability or wanting or desire to kind of do what can't be done. Essentially go against nature's will, God's will, or whatever physiological thing that's out there, just doing the impossible. That's why you got like Dr. Frankenstein, who brings life. You got Griffin from The Invisible Man becoming invisible. That's why you have all these incredible. Now, what characters do you feel that you guys have looked at and go, wow, I get that. I can see what drives a man that mad to do that. Okay, coming to go first. All right.
I was letting the guests go, and then none of them.
Oh, sorry, you failed, man. We blew it.
I'll go first because you guys sunk on me. I'm going to say, okay, I'm going to go, just for the sake of the debate and what we're talking about, Dr. Frankenstein, who would arguably be one of the first mad scientists to be seen in pop culture. And I mean pop culture as in when the book was written, Frankenstein, a.k.a. Prometheus. It was a man saying that I'm going to take woman out of the process and create life and do what God does. I mean, he was doing two different things, and it drove him insane. And created a monster. Ironically, it wasn't the science that created the monster, but it was his attitude and behavior and his not understanding the importance of what he was doing that truly created the monster. Because Frankenstein was just kind of a blank slate, the monster. And it was just the mean behavior and the rejection that Frankenstein gave to the monster rather than love and care that drove him to be evil. You don't agree with that?
I mean, that's fair.
I would argue no.
John, you're there giving a wince. Either
Okay,
you drink more of the half and half.
I did.
Or you're not agreeing. What's going on, John?
So what is it about Dr. Frankenstein that you would say
so
is
nasty? It just tastes so bad. Oh my god.
So what would you say is with Dr. Frankenstein? Do you think he did treat the monster nicely?
Well, one, I think he did it just to do it. I actually don't really think Dr. Frankenstein was mad. I think that he stumbled upon this, whatever epiphany. Hey, I could not only bring something back, but I might be able to just create something with all these parts, right? And I think his motivation was just to do it. Like that he wanted to do it. He's like, look, I got the ability. I'm going to do it. But, oh, wait, nobody else supports me doing it because it is kind of fucking crazy. Talking about bringing people back or stitching people together and then recreating some new life from old life, but it's really old life, but then it's new, but then it's not.
He went to Craigslist and found the one hunchback. That
was See,
I'll totally do this.
That's why Craigslist got shut down with all those murders, man. It was just Frankenstein pulling his old tricks again. But oh god, that stuff is so awful. But so I think that he was doing it to do it, to show that this can be done, and I am the one to do it. But if you remember, the brain that they got it was labeled as an abnormal brain, right? And so the monster already wasn't like, how do I want to say this without getting ripped apart? It wasn't like because
everybody on your Twitter,
because the brain was abnormal.
John Jacobs. Oh.
The monster didn't behave the way that it was intended to behave, because that was the whole thing, is you got an abnormal brain. You didn't get what would be quoted a standard brain. So I think that the monster was just, cancel me, please. I think the monster just didn't know any better. You know, it would be the same thing as we have adults now that never really got past the adolescence age mentally, because there are like medical issues that cause that. And I think that with the monster, that's kind of what happened with the abnormal brain. It was a strong, very large, like human creature, but because they got that specific brain for that function wasn't where Dr. Frankenstein wanted it. And I believe that's where the rejection came from. But just like Jaws, it wasn't Jaws's fault. People moved into his habitat, causing him to have to eat people. You know, Frankenstein didn't ask to have 25 different body parts sewn together and then some abnormal brain put in here. And then poof, now you're alive and everybody hates you because you're not what they expected. So yeah, fuck them all, of course. Like, do your thing, man. Like, I mean, I don't blame him at all, just like I don't blame Jaws. And I think it's really shitty that the townsfolk get together and literally murder him because he didn't know what he was doing to that. It's like of Mice of Men, you know? Lemmy didn't realize he was killing that rabbit.
I agree with you with that argument. I mean, he is. I always felt that the monster was an innocent. I mean, I always felt that way. Yeah, I've always felt that way. I might have misspoke and accidentally referred to the doctor as the monster doctor, because that's a dumb common misconception I've tried to kill off. But yeah, you're absolutely right. I mean, he was a victim. And speaking of the Dr. Frankenstein style mad scientist, Shep brought a good one that
he's on fire with the Jurassic Park references right now.
Yeah,
and just got a shout out to my man B.D. Wong, one of the best actors out there.
Because the thing about Jurassic Park is a modern day Prometheus story of Dr. Frankenstein. I mean, because basically you have these scientists who, instead of, because I mean, the novel Frankenstein is based on so much philosophy on the just because you can, should you, and even to the point where Jeff Goldblum blurts that out and says that line, and we were trying to control something that could never be controlled, nature, and B.D. Wong was a great example of it. Just a great example. Yeah. I've always found Jurassic Park to be a horror movie. Yes, it's a sci-fi movie, but it has all the elements of, for me at least, a horror movie.
And I mean, it's, B.D. Wong is the mad scientist. John Hammond is the money behind it. And as much as I hate those new Jurassic Park films, because let's just be honest, guys, they're not good. Having B.D. Wong actually become a villain was awesome. At first, I didn't like it because I'm like, what have you done? But then I'm like, no, this is great. This shows that the power and corruption can change even the best person, B.D. Wong, into a piece of shit. And it did. And I really, really like that.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. Let's bring up, let's see, Shep's on fire. Are you saying that he got caught up with whether or not he could do it, and he never stopped to think whether or not he should? Yes, no, exactly.
Making the monster.
I mean, that.
Because hold on, Darth's got something. Darth,
that's like 5 minutes, but it's okay. John just kept talking over and over and over again.
I'm done. Go ahead.
No, in Frankenstein's mind, he wasn't a mad scientist, and that's one of the cool things about the mad scientists is a lot of them don't realize that they're the bad guy.
Agreed.
He was just like, I want to do this, and he fell down like the rabbit hole. And
his intentions were pure at first.
And I agree with Shep saying, he was doing, can I do it more than should I do it? And
Agreed.
He did it, and he was cool. He was happy about it. He created life.
He was happy about it.
I did that.
And then the townsfolk were like, no.
You imagine we don't like Frankenstein just like slap the chest of the dead monster before bringing it to life and go, this baby could take 3 bolts of lightning. Okay, car salesman. Like, this thing's amazing. Now it's funny because like before we move forward with talking more about Dr. Frankenstein, we have to make sure. Well, I'm going to try to make sure I say which version of Dr. Frankenstein because there are many different versions.
There are.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not sure if you've seen Peter Cushing's Frankenstein. He's a son of a bitch.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, I'm missing a brain. And he throws like someone he respects off a balcony. He's like, I got one.
I mean, that's Peter Cushing, though, man. That's the kind of movies he did.
Have you guys ever seen The Bride with Sting?
No, I haven't.
You've never seen it? Oh, no, man.
No.
Oh, that one's one of my favorites. It's really cheesy and it's so 80s, but it's really fucking cool. Oh, man.
Would you please give us a synopsis of this?
It's one of the ones where like they really go for the sympathy for the monster angle, and he's actually articulate in this. He speaks well, and he has friends. He befriends a little circus midget or a little person if you prefer, and he's got him through the whole film. And then some like fucked up asshole carnies murder his little person friend, and he gets fucking pissed. He takes out the whole carnival, man. It's great because the monster is played by Clancy Ross, I think is his name. The dude who's in like literally everything. You know what I mean? He was the Kurgan in Highlander. He's the voice of Mr. Krabs. He was in what's that?
Are you talking about Clancy Brown?
Yeah, what did I say? Whatever I said was wrong.
Whatever you said was wrong, but I know
it's not okay. But that guy, he plays the monster and he's awesome, and it's a fun movie. It's 80s as fuck and it's great. Clancy Brown.
There he is.
Yeah.
Oh, also, while it's on me, I guess the button. Because we're in spooky season, guys, I wanted to introduce you to a friend of mine I invited on the show today. This is my friend Oreo.
Oh,
you can see her. She's
nice, dude.
There she is. There's a dinosaur for you.
Okay.
Get her in front of the camera.
Man.
Yeah, there she is. Yeah, she's on the show today. Little uninvited guest.
I like it, and it fits the theme perfectly.
Right.
So let's.
Hold on. I want Darth to finish his point that he was making.
That was it.
Oh, okay.
I also agree with Shep that Peter Boyle was the greatest Frankenstein monster. Frankenstein monster.
All right, real quickly, let's vote. Before we go on to our next topic, let's vote right now. Give us your favorite monster and your favorite Dr. Frankenstein. For me, I'm going to go real fast. As I'm going to say, Peter Cushing is one of my favorite Frankenstein doctors.
I agree.
Dude, that fucker is evil. My favorite monster portrayal is Robert De Niro's because it was the closest it was to the book.
Ooh, in the Mary Shelley Frankenstein 90s movie?
It was the closest it came to the book.
Okay.
I
mean, you're not wrong. It is. You're not wrong. But it was just like, I don't know, man. People weren't ready for that. I think it was ahead of its time.
Here's the problem with that movie, and I'll say this real quickly. The script was great. What's his name? Kenneth Branagh fucked with it too much because the guy who wrote that movie, that guy is known for writing the best horror from the 90s and on. And Kenneth Branagh was like, "Ooh, I want to be Shakespearean." And he fucked it up.
I want to be Shakespearean. Everybody wants to be
Shakespearean movies every year. That's why Thor. That's why the first Thor movie is obnoxious because Kenneth Branagh was like, "Oh, Shakespearean Thor."
All right. I agree. I actually don't like the first Thor movie. I like Thor 2 better than Thor 1. Yeah, I said it.
Because Kenneth Branagh is just like, "Oh, this needs Shakespeare," and it's like, no, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't, sir.
Fuck out of here. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm done. Wait, I love this. Wait. Yes. Bill Hartman was good. Shep, your vote counts.
Yeah.
Bill Hartman.
Yeah.
Okay,
right,
so your guys, give me your monster, give me your doctor. Go.
Darth, go ahead. Who's yours?
Doctor, God, I can't remember who was in what, so I'm going to name the one guy I do remember, and that's going to be Gene Wilder from Young.
Yeah.
There you go.
And then my favorite monster is going to be Jean-Claude Van Damme from Universal Soldier.
Nice, man. Nice.
Wow.
Oh, outside the box there, man. I like it.
Wow.
But it counts. Dude, him and Dolph and that whole team, they're all a team of Frankenstein monsters.
That makes sense.
Wow.
Yeah.
I never
Not
really put those
all
together.
of them are horror movies.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be my reoccurring theme. I'm gonna be saying today.
No, it makes sense. I mean, you could make the argument for RoboCop. RoboCop has Frankenstein monster. I mean, you're right, Darth. It transcends horror big time.
Yep.
Al, who's yours?
If we're talking about just Frankenstein, I'm gonna have to go with probably Karloff for the monster, just because he was the original and he was just so awesome.
Iconic.
I will say that I prefer Bride of Frankenstein to the original. I think it's one of the few times where a sequel was every bit as good, if not slightly better than the original. As far as Doctor, I'm gonna go with Jesse and say in the 90s version, I really liked that version of Frankenstein. I liked how they were very clear about his motivations. He was more of like he was trying to do something that never been done, and he sort of like got pissed off because a college professor told him he couldn't do it and he shouldn't do it. So he was like, "Well, fuck you, I'm going to do it anyway." And but he started with pure intentions. He just wanted to be a doctor. He wanted to help people. He wanted to get rid of this whole death thing. Let's not ever have to deal with that again. And he ended up turning into a monster. So I think he's my favorite doctor.
Yeah.
Nice.
I mean, that's the brilliant part with the Frankenstein storyline. You know, it's this who is the man and who is the monster.
Yeah.
And and I love that trope is so prevalent today in most media nowadays. So
also Also, the entire cast of The Bride. They were all. It's so cheesy and corny, but it's
I'm
so
watching
good.
it, man. I'll move it up. I'll watch it before I start Andor.
I've got it on DVD if you can't find it anywhere, so I can lend that out.
Cool. I might hit you up if I can't find it.
Night watch at Al's place. Let's do that.
Hell yeah, man.
In his basement with all of his snakes and spiders that could kill all of us.
Sounds like
I don't have spiders, man. I don't do legs, dude. I like no legs here. There's 0 legs on the scene.
I don't do legs.
I have dogs and cats, but that's it, man. Four's it.
Like if Al was ever looking for a roommate, look, guys, I don't do legs.
No.
That's the title of the article. Don't do legs. All right. So be cool with it or what? Anyways, all right. So let's go into a different mode of the Frankenstein. We're going to leave the Frankenstein monster alone. But now we're going to talk about evil, like pure evil mad scientists who are just trying to, because like Frankenstein, as Al articulated, it started from a good place. But I'm talking about someone who already had some ill will, whether it was evil to kill or to steal or to trump somebody or like, for example, one of my favorite just all around evil would be Griffin from the Invisible Man films. Dude, I mean, doesn't, like, if I remember, he kills an entire train of people at one point.
He does, but was he evil from the beginning, or did he become corrupted?
I take that back. Yeah. Okay. I
think he started out with good intentions as well. Now there might have been, some other motivators there, but I don't think he was like a murderous psychopath.
No. I think he had it just corrupted the inner, like,
dark side, man.
The dark side, yeah. Like he had some dark side to begin with.
Yeah.
It's just being invisible gives them like this ominous godlike complex. Like, oh, I can finally let this evil out of me. Finally, I finally can just go screw it. We're done. And I think they did a good job with even the new Invisible Man that they released a few years ago.
I like the Kevin Bacon one. I thought that was great.
That was a good one too. Like you could see that Kevin Bacon character. Yeah, you can see Kevin Bacon in that movie. He was already rapey to begin with. So
I thought it was weird that they added the little digital half invisible penis when he was turning invisible or whatever.
Yeah,
that was a big deal in the late '90s in the movie theater. People hadn't seen penises like that before, and
not just any penis.
Topic of conversation.
Visible penis. Yeah, but
I mean, you could see you could see some of the circulatory system in a basic outline. There's no skin. Some of the muscle was invisible still. So it's like, oh, that's what a penis looks like on the inside. Okay.
You see some of the light coming off the shaft. Just beautiful. But anyways, so that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, let's move on when Jesse starts talking about lighting the shaft.
Okay. Well, I'm not the only one. Look at this. Nigel joined in. All right. So
that's Nigel, though.
Yeah, I mean, Nigel's very comfortable with penises. So.
Okay, so
Jesse, so
well, how do you want me to transition out of penis? All right, look.
Okay,
right. So when we're talking about just evil, ill-willed scientists with ill will to begin with, whether it's murderous intent, wanting to steal, or just or benign malice, who would you say is one of your favorite mad scientists in that aspect?
Darth. I know you want to say it, so just say it.
Who am I going to say?
You don't want to do your dude?
Oh, no. I mean, he wasn't just... I guess he's completely and totally evil, but it's not really a horror thing. My boy, Professor Gangrene.
Professor Gangrene.
Does anyone know on here who knows who Professor Gangrene is?
Is he from Captain Planet?
No.
Oh, good guess. Close, but wrong.
Is
anyone in the chat?
I do not know who Professor Gangrene is.
Killer Tomatoes?
Yes.
Oh,
there you go, Al.
Second time's the charm. Let me tell you something, man. This is why I could never be famous, okay? Because I would be at like some award show or something in Hollywood, and I would run into somebody like George Clooney, and I would be like, "Man, you were amazing in Revenge of the Killer Tomatoes."
Right.
You know,
you were awesome in Roseanne, dude. Awesome.
Yeah, no, he it was pure evil. He only created or mutated the tomatoes for world domination.
Wasn't he played by the same dude from
Sean Astin?
The Addams Family?
Yeah, not Sean Astin.
John
Astin. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, great role. Love all 4 movies.
Nice.
There
was a Sunday morning cartoon, wasn't there?
There was a cartoon.
I used to watch that all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, they ruined it.
Killer Tomatoes. I remember the song.
Yeah, The Return is one of my favorite movies of all time.
Nice.
It's so cheesy and so bad.
I'm gonna run through it, Darth. Like I said, there's a couple things that are piling up on the watch list now because a lot of stuff's dropped in the last couple of weeks and I just haven't had time. But when I'm through the new stuff, I'll run the series of Killer Tomatoes.
Good luck finding this 3rd and 4th movie.
I'll find them.
Nowhere to be. I have VHS copies of them.
What?
I have VHS copies of them.
I don't have VCR anymore. You should really convert those to either digital or at least DVD or something. I
still have my VCR too.
Nice.
Only specifically for that reason.
I wish I still had mine.
I have a VCR as well. No, there's something about putting in a tape that still feels good. I don't know what it is, but like when you hear that click, you know, like when it's like
the smell that comes out of the VCR, like the bit running. Yeah, man.
The burning
on too long. You got to turn it off and let it cool off for a little bit. Your dad start bitching, the heads get warped. I don't know what the VCRs cost. Warp them heads.
Now, Will here in the comments mentioned a couple things. Tony Stark.
Oh yeah, that Tony Stark is technically a mad scientist.
Is he a mad scientist though?
He was trying to create a robot with genocidal tendencies.
No, pause. That was not him. All he was trying to do was make something to benefit humanity, which was Ultron. All that other
and all Frankenstein was doing was trying to cure death.
Yeah, but we established he wasn't a bad mad scientist. I don't think Tony Stark's a bad mad scientist.
I don't think he's a bad scientist.
Oh, I thought we were still talking about like the bad mad scientist.
No. He was bringing back to the Frankenstein. Sorry, we jumped back. So yeah, to clarify, not a bad mad scientist. Tony Stark is a good mad scientist.
But I agree, he's a mad scientist. Absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. You want to know who else I had on this list of mad scientists people may not remember? Just like how Darth was bringing up, there's out of the box mad scientists, right? Ones that you wouldn't necessarily think of. Dr. Emmett Brown, probably one of the biggest mad scientists there is. Literally almost fucked up a miner's entire life and spent 3 movies trying to help him fix it.
He stole like plutonium from terrorists.
Stole plutonium. He pissed off some terrorists. Then he traveled back in time and saved a woman from dying that should have died. So where was the butterfly effect there? There should have been something disastrous in 1985 because he
and fucked up the Tannen timeline forever.
Oh yeah, he fucked up the whole Tannen family.
Every Tannen.
Hold on. I'm gonna come to Doc Brown's defense here. Yes, he saved this woman, but then also took her out of time.
True.
So she could not affect the timeline. The only thing that was different was it was now Eastwood Ravine instead of Clayton Ravine.
Yes, correct.
That was the only ripple to the timeline that we saw.
Okay, but I mean, let's just be honest. There should have been more ramifications.
She was alive for 3 more days
ago, and like humans don't exist now. I wanted something that significant.
She was alive for 3 more days, John. 3 days. She was alive for 3 days.
Well, I mean, they're still living in 1885, man. They just get on the train to go visit Marty. They're not living outside of time.
They are. They flew into the future to renovate the thing Do you think we're going to just go back to 1885?
Yes, they live in the 1800s.
Before they tell Marty that they're okay, they're like, let's pimp this bitch out.
Right.
Then we're going to go back to 1885 and live like,
correct.
People in the world. No, John, you're wrong.
Yes, because he loved that era. That's the thing. They went back to 1885, man. They lived there.
He knew not to mess with the timeline, so he's living outside the timeline.
Okay. Doc Brown knew not to mess with it, but he sure fucked it to hell in all three movies.
He did everything he could to fix it.
He didn't. He made it worse by trying to fix it, man.
In the end, they all lived happily ever after.
They
Not
did.
Biff.
Except
for Biff, who deserved it.
Exploded at just the right time, man.
I think Biff was misunderstood.
No, you know what I wanted another movie with just like Biff's mobile detailing business, Biff, like where he's wearing the like mint toothpaste green tracksuit and has the, like Donald Trump hair. That's the Biff that I want a whole movie off of right there.
There we go.
Like Biff from episode 2.
Yes, episode.
No, not Rich Biff in 1985. I want the mobile detailing Biff when he got the shit beat out of him at the end of the first film / beginning of the second film. That's the Biff right there. That specific Biff.
I want to get a Disney Plus special.
Get the Cobra Kai guys. I mean, they not only did they succeed with Cobra Kai, but now they're going to have the 2 valets from Ferris Bueller going to have their own thing. So they would be the perfect people to do that. There we go. Strike first. There we go. But real quickly, let's go to the comment section and talk about some other scientists. So here's another. Well, this one's ambiguous, whether he is a goodwill scientist or a bad scientist. We don't know his motives. We just know that he likes doing what he does. Making
Willy Wonka.
We don't know. We don't know what he's up to.
He killed all them kids. He creates a lot of candies and stuff that are just evil. Yeah. The little fizzy pop that makes you fly.
I would drink that for sure. I would drink that all day.
I would totally drink that, man. I'd drink that shit.
Wouldn't that be a great way to assassinate someone you hate?
You'll come back down. He just keeps drinking it.
Right.
You don't tell him the burp. You just say, like, here, have this. They, shut the fuck up. Have a Coke. Give them the Coke. Dead. It's just gone. They're done.
Just really live up in the clouds with Mary Poppins, man. There you go. Yeah. Banging that bitch every day. Boom. Done. There it is.
Dr. Joseph Heitzer.
That's a good one. Will, excellent call out. What do you guys think about that? Now that's a mad fucking scientist right there. I think that's a real mad scientist.
Wait, did that mad scientist ever explain the motive?
Yeah, because he wanted to create a creature out of other creatures that he could control, and when he tried to do it with the dog, it died. So he realized he needed something stronger and higher will and resistancy. So he decided to do it out of humans.
Damn. I wasn't sure if he was like, you know what, we need a very long intestine tract. Like, I wasn't sure if okay, so you like those like science fair projects, right? When you were in middle school, and like some of them were actually like, I'm going to test a hypothesis, and then other ones are like, I'm going to make the biggest magnet, and like that one was the biggest magnet, except it was just the intestinal tract. Like he's like. Basically, all these movies are just science fairs done by sociopaths. I mean, that's really what it is.
That's Will. That was a phenomenal suggestion. I had forgotten to put that on my list. Great suggestion because again, I feel like that's 100% mad.
That's a creepy ass movie, man.
Yeah, what's that from again?
What?
Twisted or what's the movie? It's
the movie's called Dr. Giggles. It was in 1992. I had to look it up real quickly.
Okay, I'm thinking of something completely different. I thought it was something different.
Yeah.
But I'm intrigued.
I've never seen this movie.
It's super creepy.
What's it about? Tell us what it's about.
It's about a guy who's, I don't think he's really a doctor. He's just an insane person, but he thinks he's a doctor. So he dresses like a doctor and carries a scalpel around and cuts people up.
But he is not, in fact, a doctor.
No, he's not licensed in any state. I don't believe.
He is not licensed to practice medicine in any continental state.
No.
So what you're telling me is we have a mad man, but not a mad scientist.
Yeah, maybe not necessarily a mad scientist.
If, Bill Nye can be a scientist, Dr. Giggles can be a scientist.
Fair enough.
You leave Bill Nye out of this, that man is a treasure.
All right, Nigel's still on his theory. If he invited 5 kids on a tour, why did this boy only have 14?
Because he already knew one of them kids was going to get killed before they got on the boat, man. He already had that shit all planned out. The Oompa Loompas were in on it. He was in on it. He engineered the factory to ensure they would be killed at just the right time in the right place. Like, Willy Wonka is, you know what? I'm now convinced he is a real fucking mad scientist, man.
He's a killer.
Probably the most evil of the mad scientists.
I agree. I absolutely agree. Look how he exploited an entire race of humanoid creatures into indentured slavery. Like, what?
And
I'm going to throw out because
I love that Al's got the snake on his hand. That's so awesome.
She's just kind of here.
Yeah,
she's very chill. I'm going to throw out Dr. Mindbender from G.I. Joe.
Yeah, good one.
And I'm going to, unpopular opinion, I really liked Joseph Gordon-Levitt's Dr. Mindbender in the G.I. Joe movie until they merged his character with Cobra Commander. I thought that was stupid and trash, but up until that point, I was really digging it. I really dug Dr. Mindbender in that movie.
The thing about the G.I. Joe movies, it's like you had 90% of the first one that you're like, okay. And then you had that 10%, you're like, what did you guys fucking do? So then they do the second movie and you're like, awesome. They promised to redeem it. And it's like, again, you did 90% and then you have this 10% and it's like, well, wait a minute. The 10% you fucked up in the first movie, you fixed in this, but then you made a whole other 10%. And it's just like, what are you doing? Why can't you make a good G.I. Joe movie? I don't know.
Right. Now we're still waiting for that 10% fix. It hasn't happened yet.
It's going to happen again. It'll get a resurgence. You watch.
They fixed it in Snake Eyes.
Yeah, but
I think they were working on a Snake Eyes movie, weren't they? Wasn't that supposed to happen?
It was actually pretty good.
I liked the Snake Eyes movie, but I thought that was standalone, Darth. I didn't think that was part of the continuity of the two films that already existed.
It's a G.I. Joe movie, and it was good.
Okay. I might check it out.
I'll give you that. Al, definitely check it out. My wife even liked it. So now there are some harsh criticisms out there and people crying on the internet. Ignore that. Just watch the movie. I think you'll like it. And look, if Darth puts his stamp of approval on something, you know it's good. Because he just doesn't stamp anything. Like, Darth vets shit before he stamps it. So I trust him.
Now,
but I've seen the movie, so I'm telling you to go see it too.
Going back to our scientists, let's. I'm not sure if you guys have seen this movie. I like to debate this scientist because there's moments where I feel like he could be good, but then there's others where I feel like he's just pure evil. But let's debate Herbert West from the Reanimator series. You know, because
Darth shaking your head no.
Oh no, I've never seen it.
Oh,
you never seen it? Oh man,
shit, dude.
Yeah. Okay. So with this character, he it's kind of a weird, like, quirky Frankenstein.
Yeah.
Capitalism.
There's definitely capitalistic motivation in that movie.
Yeah, I'm about to say, like, did they ever really go into his motivation in that? I feel like he was just doing it because it was something to do, or I don't know.
Feel like he was doing it to, like, one up everybody.
Fair.
Because, like, he was in class. Like, everybody, the doctor's like, well, we do this. Well, when I was working with this person, we were doing that. And, like, he was always, like, he was that little shit in class who was smarter than the teacher. Like, that's his character. And he always likes to embarrass the teacher and put him on blast.
I think that's a good way of looking at it. Because even from the opening scene, he's already doing shit just to spite other people. And when they call him out on it, it's like, well, why? I'm bringing this guy back. Why when they used to get the guy's like hanging up, puking all over, he's like, hold on a second, I'll take care of this. Like, it's just, it's so crazy, man.
I think he is definitely cold to life. I think the fact that my question is, do you think he's cold to life because he has figured out how to bring someone back to life on a whim and that it doesn't matter? Because like you saw the way he is. Like I remember the one scene where the head keeps rolling, puts it back up, rolls down, keeps that. Then he sees the like the receipt thing with the nail, you know, that top out, and he just shoves the head on there so it stopped rolling.
Yeah.
It's such a funny moment, but there's something cold about it. I don't know. Like
I think he was already that way. And I think once he had his serum and he was doing his experiments and quote unquote proving other people wrong, that was his justification and kind of like stamp of approval that, hey, I can keep doing this because nobody else is doing it. And are they going to stop me? No. So I'm just going to keep doing it.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, I always found that character very interesting because there is a part of you that wants to, you want to like him. That's
Sure.
what
Yeah.
Because
it's
like,
funny, like sorry.
Go ahead, Al. Go ahead.
So the guy who wrote Reanimator, have you guys ever seen Dagon?
No,
but I've heard good things.
Dagon is great. Dagon's awesome. The guy who wrote Reanimator directed Dagon.
Oh, okay, okay.
He kind of has a type for his leading man that he puts in movies. So the dude, his lead in Dagon is just like Dr. West in Reanimator, except a different kind of a thing. He's like this rich, nerdy kind of like computer geek who got himself a fortune, and he's out vacationing in like off the coast of Portugal, and he ends up crashed on an island fighting fish people. But it's like the same guy. It's really cool. It's a great movie. Check it out at some point. Put it on your list.
Hey, Tom just dropped in a really good comment, Jesse.
Oh, okay. Let's check that out. Oh, shit. There it is.
While we get that, Darth, I've got a question for you specifically.
Okay. That's fair.
Who would you list as the number one, like, positive mad scientist? So, like, not the, like, insane, crazy, psychopathic mad scientist, but, like, the opposite end of that spectrum but still a mad scientist.
I would probably go with the guys from Jurassic Park, the first movie, just the first one.
Mm-hmm. So just the John Hammond's team of scientists.
Yes, the one. All he wanted to do was bring back dinosaurs.
Yes.
He wanted to make a theme park. He wanted to make
a theme park.
He wanted to make it affordable for everybody. He wanted
the coupon day.
He wanted to give gifts of dinosaurs to humanity. He had no ill will until we find out in the fourth movie he wanted to clone. One of the other people wanted to clone his daughter and blah blah. No, just the first movie.
You're like, no, just the first
one. Let's create dinosaurs. Let's have a fun amusement park and show how cool they were. That's it.
Made for families.
And Hammond was determined to make it affordable for everybody. It was the stupid lawyer who got eaten by the T-Rex that was like, no, we're gonna make it expensive. We'll have a coupon night. Blah blah blah. No.
The lawyer.
Yeah, the lawyer.
This was Gennaro. I think this was too.
Yeah.
Well, here's an interesting thing Tom wrote. Dwight from The Office always reminded me of Herbert West. And I do agree. There is a lot of characteristics that very much line up. I never really made that connection. So that's a very good connection.
Now, actually, let me build off of that real quick because that just got me thinking. So Dwight from The Office was also in a little film we might have heard called House of a Thousand Corpses. And he got turned into Fishman by Otis Driftwood. So could we consider Otis a mad scientist? Because he does a lot of shit to dead people and makes them into things. And Dr. Satan, I guess, could be a mad scientist because he's creating this race of whatever people. He was metal in their mouth and that's all they do, or they drool a lot. I don't know what the purpose of that was, but so I mean, we even got some mad scientists in House of Thousand Corpses, man.
If we're really going deep into the mad scientist, Dr. Benson Honeydew.
Benson Honeydew. Who's that?
Honeydew. Yeah, that sounds really familiar.
Oh, come on. Nobody?
Benson Honeydew. Dude, that's really familiar.
Bunsen Honeydew, I believe.
Bunsen. Oh God, Bunsen. Because his name's a pun for Bunsen burner. Muppets.
Yep.
Muppets.
Oh, dude, I didn't even think about. I knew the Honeydew had me, but I couldn't connect it.
I always remember his name because Bunsen burner. So that's why.
Yep.
As soon as you said Bunsen,
and that's why his sidekick Beaker.
Yeah, so that's the green bald-headed guy, and then Beaker is the like tall oval beep, 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 guy.
Yeah, while we're at it, Pinky in the Brain.
Oh, yeah. That's actually a really good one. Yeah.
Yeah. No, those are really good ones. I mean, again, that's what makes the mad scientist thing such an interesting trope. That because it transcends past horror into just about everything. I mean,
there's one more mad scientist I really do want to touch base with because
what do you got?
We're going to learn more about him in the next year or so because they just signed him on to be the villain for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, and that's the High Evolutionary. A lot of people are going to be like, who the hell is this guy?
Yeah, I don't know who that is.
And he was just a scientist that wanted to create a new generation of humans called the Next Men. And they were an amalgamation of humans and animals.
This sounds like Dr. Moreau.
Mm.
Yeah, it's very much. And he dons like a purple metal suit and creates a whole new world. And we're going to be introduced to him in Guardians 3.
Okay, so I'm interested, and I'm all about Guardians 3. I'm so glad it's happening. And then, of course,
I also want to see Dr. Nathaniel Essex, who is Mr. Sinister. And if everyone remembers the good old X-Men cartoon, you'll know he was a very, very mad scientist, and all he wanted to do was create perfection. And to do that, he wanted to steal egg and sperm from Scott Summers and Jean Grey.
You can't have my Cyclops sperm. Get away.
Create the perfect human.
Darth, I have another question for you. So when in the earlier days of Superman, Lex Luthor was originally a mad scientist, and they kind of morphed him into what he is now. So would you say that Lex Luthor could even be counted as a mad scientist?
Yeah, he's on my list of mad scientists.
Yeah.
I mean, he's come up with a whole bunch of ways to kill Superman. All kinds of cool kryptonite things.
Trying to kill a god. To kill a god.
Right. He's always tried to, before Superman came by, he was always like a philanthropist and creating stuff and doing all kinds of good. Then someone came out that stole his spotlight, and he hated him for it. And
he couldn't handle it, man. He wasn't ready for that.
Everything. One of my favorite lines was from Superman for All Seasons, and it was he always enjoyed looking down at humanity from his penthouse. Everyone had to look up to him until Superman showed up.
Yeah,
Superman was just floating above him.
Right.
And every time you saw him in that comic book, he was always floating above him. And Luthor just took that as, there's someone better than me. There's someone higher up than me. And it's not fair because he got all this stuff because he's an alien and got superpowers. If he was just a normal human being, I'd kick his ass.
Oh man, I love the simplicity of that hate, and I wish that was I really wish that was more exercised in a lot of other Superman properties now. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like the complex, but sometimes something as simple as that, just someone who's just like, no, I have to be this, you can't be this.
Well, that's why as much as I hate the actor who played him, the Kevin Spacey Superman from Superman Returns was perfect.
It was. I agree.
I thought it was good. I
agree.
I thought it was good. Now there was one more doctor that was brought up, and I like to spare some time to talk about him, Dr. Moreau.
Moreau, man, my man Moreau, dude, out there getting it done. So first of all, let me just say there are not enough films that start off with somebody adrift who then lands on some uncharted island and goes through the amount of shit that happened in the island of Dr. Moreau, even though nothing actually really happened.
I can think of one. That was Tom Hanks.
Right. But nothing happened. There was no creature.
The volleyball.
Like, right. He put his dick in a volleyball. That's the most exciting thing. And he did, because when he got the volleyball, it was whole. And then when we fast forwarded for 4 years, he had like hair and it was like cut in the top.
There's a deleted scene where he created a body for Wilson.
Oh, really?
Oh, he fucked Wilson's body?
So he fucked the fake body? Or did he fuck the head?
What he did is between him and Wilson.
But Wilson's gone. We'll never know, man.
There was.
Who would have thought at the end of the movie that was the second package he delivered?
Right.
There we go.
That's why he's a trained professional. So go get his special. You can find it on Amazon.
So I love the classic trope of, oh man, I was in a shipwreck. Let me wash upon this island and holy fuck, all this shit's going on. Actually there's a lot of parallels between Island of Dr. Moreau and the game BioShock, if anybody has played that. There are a ton of parallels there. I mean, obviously, Andrew Ryan wasn't creating monsters in Rapture, but he kind of was with the plasmids that turned them into that. But it's a very similar concept. And Dr. Moreau is a fucking mad scientist. He was ostracized from the world. He went on his island. He fucking disappeared. And he created beastmen because he wanted to be God over them. And he inserted microchips into them so that he could control them with pain. This man is a lunatic and a beast of his own. I mean, he had that little creature. We'll call him Kevin because that's what they call him in South Park with Mephisto. And, like... What are you doing, Dr. Moreau? Like, who is this, like, creature? It's like Mini-Me, but, like, not Mini-Me. And then he's, like, naked in one scene, and I'm just like, Dr. Moreau, what are you doing here? Like, I feel like he's going out there and, like, fucking all the beast people every night. They just don't show it in the movie.
No, I think one of the... Oh, God. I love how, like, most mad scientists, like, ostracized by everybody. Yeah. But
the world has turned their back on the mad scientist.
With this doctor, it's like as Kilmore was describing, damn PETA.
Yeah. Like, it was a government regulation. That was the holdup. Like, it's PETA. The reason we can't do this in Chicago is because of PETA. We need to go get a Jurassic Park island and just do it ourselves. Yeah, okay, I'll go with you. Like, wait, what? I think Montgomery was equally a mad scientist. He was just riding the coattails of Moreau. Because
I would go as far to say he was, because he's like, oh, I give this concoction, it makes them all happy.
Yeah. So he's like, So he's partnering with Moreau to continue to control the Beastmen. And then when the Beastmen retaliate and kill Moreau, Montgomery just ascends right top, and then he goes crazy, starts dressing like Moreau and like talking like Moreau, and it's like, bro, what are you doing, man?
That was so funny.
You're Iceman. Get your ass off this island and go jump in a plane. What the fuck?
You got abs for days.
Right. You got a goddamn cross burned in your head. Get off that fucking island. Get back in a jet. What are you doing?
I wish they would have played volleyball with the Beast People.
Volleyball, man. They were ready to learn. The Beast People were really smart. They were ready to learn. And they started ripping out the microchip, which would allowed them to kill Moreau and I guess stay on the island and just live like they were before the guy. I don't know. The main characters don't actually influence the plot of that movie. It's very strange if you go back.
No, yeah.
The book is better. Read the book. H.G. Wells classic.
I like, because that movie just kind of like, I just feel like Edward just gets there, and everything was already off the rails. Like it just like he was just witnessing it. He was just kind of a passenger to it all, and it was just like, it was crazy. Yeah. I just always love that creepy scene where he sneaks up behind the girl who's like belly dancing in the hallway for some random reason.
Oh yeah. And she's just like, oh, he's like, oh, I'm sorry, I was just mesmerized by your beauty. No, you're a fucking creeper. What are you doing, man?
Yeah, you're in someone else's house where you were never there before, and you're like, oh no, don't worry, stay calm.
Like, oh, and no! It's the boss's daughter. You're making googly eyes at the boss's daughter. What are you doing, man?
Yeah.
What was Teresa Balk in that movie?
That was her, dude.
Yeah, what happened to her?
I don't know. We should probably do a show about what happened to people from the 90s. That'd actually be really fun.
Where are they? Where'd they go? Can I say something real quick?
I'm sure she's still acting, but she's one of those actors. And look, guys, I'm making this up. She's probably one of those actors that left Hollywood and just did, independent films or like went back to theater, and shit.
I think they just recently they did the Craft reboot, and I believe she showed up in that. I think that was like
yeah, she showed up. My wife and I watched it because my wife is like the biggest Craft fan like I ever, and Shep can back me up on that. He knows. And we watched that reboot, and dude, oh my god, I don't know what was worse, that new Black Christmas movie they made that had nothing to do with Black Christmas, or the Craft reboot, because goddamn, that shit was fucking terrible.
Let me take this one real quickly. This is what we like to call the Blumhouse effect. The Blumhouse effect is where Blumhouse will make 30 movies a year, produce them, and only 2 will be great. And of those 2 tentpole movies, everything in between is shit. So basically, they win you over hard, and then they decrease down like, oh god, this fucking sucks. And then they win you back the second temp. That and fortunately, Craft the Legacy was in the decline. That's where it was.
Oh, dude, but it's so bad.
I call it the Cosentino theory because my wife came up with that. I was just appropriating it because, well, white male culture. Cheers.
Did she just yell at you from the background?
She did yell at me.
I heard it, man. That was great.
Yep.
Yeah.
You better fucking give me credit for that shit.
Honey, I'm a white male. All I know how to do is appropriate. All right.
Fair.
All right. Anyways.
He said, all right. Anyways.
No. Literally, this where I live right now in my house, it's the island of Monroe, except instead of beast creatures, it's the matriarchy. I live in the matriarchy, folks.
Dude, Darth lives like 4 doors down from you. So is Darth in?
He's off the coast. No, he's off the coast. He's off the coast.
It really is. I've walked by. It's crazy. It's crazy all by himself.
Yep. I pay taxes here. To her, I don't know. Anyways,
I don't know.
Hang on, wait. Before we sign off, I got to ask a question specifically to like whoever's the people watching, people, your viewers.
Yeah.
So my favorite mad scientist is Steve Martin in The Man with Two Brains. So
I'm gonna watch it, Al. I promise.
Dr. Huff and Dr. Necessiter, the comedy duo of those two. Has anyone watching now seen this movie? Please comment on how awesome it is so these guys can watch it, because none of them have ever seen it. And it is
whoa. I've seen it once.
Oh, you did see it?
Long time ago.
Okay, yeah. So here's what you gotta understand.
I don't know anything about it.
Here's what you gotta understand about it. It came out in 1983. It came out in summer of 83. So it fell under the radar because this is what it was up against. It was competing with Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, man.
It was competing with National Lampoon's Vacation. It was competing with Jaws 3, with Superman 3. So
Superman 3, man, there it is.
Plus, it was an R-rated comedy, so no one was really going to see it because this is still 83, and people were waiting for that shit to come out on HBO or whatever. That's where I saw it. My dad had HBO, and I was watching it when I was a kid. But yeah, it's super raunchy. It's super fucking hilarious, and it had a huge influence on comedians of today. Trey Parker and Matt Stone have borrowed from that movie. Seth MacFarlane has borrowed from that movie. You guys got to check it out. It's fantastic.
Hey Al, when you were watching it on HBO, did it have the cool Starship HBO intro before the movie started?
I can't remember that far back. Probably.
It's got what I'm talking about, right?
Hey,
yeah.
Thing is freaking awesome.
Yeah, back in the day, man, those little.
You always knew a dope movie was going to come on if they had that little intro at the beginning.
Did we know that?
Looks like we got a few people that have seen it. I've seen people messaging. So, but anyways, that's all the time we got tonight for our mad scientist.
I drank this whole nasty shit during this episode.
I want to thank Al and Darth for joining us tonight. Thank you guys so much. You guys, always a pleasure to have you both on.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you very much.
Happy Halloween.
Yes.
What's your snake's name? Oreo?
This is Oreo. Yeah, I also have a male. His name is Floyd.
Nice. Does Floyd have to stay in his cage a little bit more? Is he a little more rambunctious than Oreo is?
He's a little more uppity. Like I mean, it's hard to. He's not like he doesn't bite or anything, but he's a little more energetic, and he'll kind of flail around. Like he hasn't really figured out yet that he has to anchor himself, or he'll just fall on the floor.
Come on, Floyd, get your life together. Figure this shit out.
You got to learn to crawl before you can walk.
Right.
Wait, that doesn't apply now. So you know.
Hey, no legs, man. No legs.
No legs. No legs.
No legs. No legs, man.
There you go. Poor roommate. No legs. Anyways, thank you guys so much. Tune in next week. We'll have more Halloween episodes coming your way. I'm going to be busy this week because I'm going to be doing a Halloween show in Westerville for a Ghost Score. So that'll be a lot of fun.
That's so cool, man. I would love to get out to that, but I have my kids all those days.
No worries, dude. No worries. Well, I mean, you can take kids on it. It's not like I'm going to be cursing. So yeah.
He's like the cleanest comedian that you'll ever meet, dude. Like, you're good.
Well, it's not me, right? I'm just reading a script because they were like, okay, we need to make sure we
don't give away the secrets, man. Come on.
But okay, here's a cool secret. Coming soon to Roku TV and YouTube. My comedy special will be on there, so make sure you check that out. So I just wanted to put that little shameless plug in there. But anyways, thank you guys so much for joining. I want to say Shep, William, Tom, Nigel. Am I missing anybody?
Tom Balaam was watching. Give a shout out to other Tom.
Tom Balaam. Give it up. Tune in next week. We got more show coming your way. But until next time, I'm Jesse.
And I'm John.
You've been sitting at the Grown Ups table. Thank you and have an awesome night, everybody. Take care.
I'll mimic that way.